Hang on, let me get this around the right way. Does it look like it's working? Yeah. Hello everyone, welcome to Friends Green Porsche Prep Book. In this episode we've got a sales car here. It's quite a rare car. It's a 997 Generation 2, but unlike most, it's got a manual gearbox. Most came with a PDK gearbox because in 2008 on the Gen 2 they brought out the PDK and everyone spec'd it because it was the new technology, the first dual clutch gearbox in a Porsche. The manuals are now sought after. This as well, it was a launch car. It was 2008, so one of the very first ones. And it seems to have been spec'd up, or has been spec'd up with everything Porsche could offer. I suspect maybe because they had it in the showroom and wanted to demonstrate everything that they can come with. So if you come and have a look, cameraman, we've got the bi-xenon lights and dynamic corner lighting. We've got, well, it wasn't an option, you could choose them, but it's got the sport design wheels. I haven't got the key. I'll go and get the key. We're just quickly taking a very quick video shot of that car before it gets dark. Actually, if I show you from the outside first, so it's got the very rare sport suspension. So it's got PASM, but it's also got sport chassis, which makes it 10mm lower than a normal PASM car. So you can see it just sits that little bit lower than a normal PASM car would. Inside, sports hardback seats with the shoulder supports just hugging you in. We've got sports chrono with the lap timer on the dash, and obviously the sports button that you can click and it will then sharpen up your throttle, automatically turn on the suspension and turn on the sports exhaust that it's got. You can see that switch down there with the sports exhaust. Click that and it makes it louder or quieter. So there you go, there's our special spec. Yeah, we've got bows, and we've got the normal Carrera S spec, so we've got the xenon headlights, silver back dials, Alcantara headlining, etc. It's also what makes it a sporty model for me. Just a nice slick back, so non-sunroof, non-rear wiper, just a non-cluttered, nice, you know, uncompromised roofline. So there we go. Right, what we're going to do, we've done our inspection. In fact, it's actually collection day today, so the car's all done and ready to go. The customer's sat in the workshop waiting to go while I take this video. We're going to go back in time and we're going to show all the work we're doing. There's a job that we haven't done before, which is these engines come with two sumps. They've got a lower sump and an upper sump. The upper sumps often leak. We've not shown one being done before, so yeah, we'll flash back and see that being done. Lovely job. Right, so secondary sump job. Lots of parts here from a strip down, so more involved than would first meet the eye. Isn't it, AJ?
Yeah, it definitely is, mate. There's a lot more that's got to come off that you don't see when you're underneath the car until you start pulling it apart. You've got all different pipes and plastic vents that run through.
And all usually very corroded. Sump. Dog's trying to knock me over. Yeah.
And they're all, yeah, like
all usually very corroded, and you're fighting. You've had a few you had to drill out, haven't you, and grind off and not heat up.
You've got to take, obviously, your manifolds off, and that's always a fun job. We've had one bolt snap for the lower sump.
Inside the actual sump?
Yeah.
The lower one or the upper one?
For the lower sump, in the upper sump casing. But we've managed to retrieve that one. So that's that bolt there.
What did you do to get that out?
Off. Basically just wound two nuts on, cleaned around the area,
heated it and got it out.
Heated up, yeah.
So here we are, mating surfaces nice and clean and a new seal on there. We've got lots of new seals to put on, haven't we? Yeah. Have you got the old ones to show how badly perished they are? Because this secondary sump is quite a common leak.
This one here, you've got, it's all cracking around here, all going dry and brittle. And then again around here it's all going dry and brittle, and most places you can actually break it. And then this for your lower sump, yeah, as you can see, it's actually come apart, two separate pieces, and again it's all just dry, brittle, and
the lower sumps
you
don't
can pretty much pull it apart.
Suffer as badly as the upper ones for some reason.
No,
they're both in a bad way.
Which, yeah, it doesn't really make sense because obviously the lower one's closer to the elements.
And then we've got lots of other O-rings,
yeah, so
and seals that we're doing.
Coolant ones, because this one goes along the bottom of the upper sump, and you actually can't take the upper sump off.
Is that to the water pump house?
Without, yeah, that's it. Obviously you've got this one which has got your sensors in it. So this sensor here, that ordinarily sits like that inside the sump. Yeah. You've then got all of these plastic oilways that sit in the upper sump.
So everything that gets disturbed and removed, we're replacing now because we can't trust that they're going to reseal
baffles
perfectly.
That have got to come off, and then obviously we lost the vacuum pipe.
Was that just badly corroded? I didn't see what
Yeah,
happened.
badly corroded under here.
Oh yeah, look at that. Hang on, let me try and focus. So we've got one of these coming tomorrow. That's held the job up a little bit, hasn't it?
It has, yeah, unfortunately. But other than that, we can crack on.
And then here we've got the usual coil pack heat shields and the remains of the O2 sensor heat shield. So this is a sales car. Major service was getting done anyway. Coil pack heat shields and manifold bolts were getting done anyway. Yep. And then we've got this secondary sump. So it's kind of all gone as part and parcel of the same job,
it's all
same
kind of
labour.
tied into one, really, isn't it?
Several birds, one stone. You can see all the bits laid out over there.
Right.
On it goes.
On it goes indeed.
It's just Ollie with his apprentice.
Just wrap the bum in 3 layers of insulation tape.
We probably can't hear you because we were using microphones. Update with car. Tackling the expansion tank, which we didn't mention before, so I think we've shown these before on the channel. But they're prone to getting a crack in a particular location. If I can get the camera to focus, there you go. So that is the location where you should check yours if you've got one of these cars or a 996. There you go. What happens is the cap on it is a pressure release, has a pressure release valve built into it, and that fails, and then the tank gets too much pressure in it, it expands too much, and that's obviously the weak point. So that's being changed. Do you want to run us through the routine? So engine mounts detached, engine propped up with the gearbox jack. Yeah. Lower the engine down to get a bit of space.
Yeah, so on these ones, it's a little bit more involved because you've got spacer on the engine mounts, so you can't get it actually past.
Just on the Gen 2 997
yeah, pretty much. So you've got to take engine mounts off, obviously brace the engine
carrier
on one side, take the carrier out, bolts underneath, and then we can disconnect all of the pipes that are associated to the expansion tank, undo all your bolts and slide it out. It's slightly more annoying on these ones because you've got a more solid fuel pipe. Doesn't give you much flex on it, but
how much would you say you got to lower the engine?
not massively, probably at most 1.5 to 2 inches.
Yeah.
Just to get clearance.
And we're in the lowered position now, are we?
No, we're still in the raised position at the minute, just so I can get the mount off.
All right, when you lower it,
Pipes.
I'll show how much by.
Yeah.
So this is all back together now. Under here. Unbox those parts, dog. Come here. Hector, come. Old expansion tank with crack. Camera's really not focusing. There's the crack. There's the old expansion tank. There's the new one. We'll also be putting on a new cap, obviously, so the same doesn't happen again. There it is. I shall show hole. There we go. You sure that tank's going to fit in that hole?
Yeah, we'll make it fit.
Right, so let's show how much the engine has dropped. That probably, what do you reckon, 1.5 inches?
Yeah, inch
Like
and a half, 2 inches.
35, 40, 50 mil?
Yeah, not far off it, mate. But then you're asking a couple of lads to measure inches, so it's never going to work, is it?
Sorry for the abrupt ending to this video. We had a very busy week and we didn't take as much footage or do as much commentary as we'd usually like to. But the car was a sales car, as we said. It went through our normal sales car preparation process. So it had the FGP Comprehensive Inspection Report with all subsequent highlighted advisories attended to. The first job was the major service, which was due, including the spark plugs. We then did a brake fluid change and an MOT. It had the secondary sump leak attended to, which was the main job. If you've got one of these 997 Gen 2s, it's very obvious to see if you've got a leak from that. If you look under the car, look under where the engine is, you'll usually see it right at the rear of the car, which is the front of the engine. But this one was actually leaking from all the way around from a perish seal. So that was done. It also had the coil pack heat shields done, which were corroded, the O2 sensor heat shields, which were corroded, all the exhaust manifold bolts, gaskets, and some other miscellaneous exhaust fixings. We actually offer that job as a fixed price package now because it's so common on the Gen 2s. So you can see that on our website. It had some rear lower control arms on the suspension, which were worn, as is often the case with these cars. The coolant expansion tank, which we showed with the new cap as well. There were some miscellaneous jobs, such as a roof rail flap, one of the wheels being refurbished. All four had been refurbished recently, but one just had a small curb mark to it. The front and rear headlight self-leveling rods were changed because they were seized on the ball joints. Had a new S badge on the back. And then it had our usual detailing done to it. The headlights were reconditioned and a ceramic coating was applied. So there we are. That rounds it up. Thank you for watching, and we will see the customer driving off in the car now.